What?
Breakdown. Now record.
Welcome back to Don't Gaslight Me, Jesus, the podcast where we dive into stories that are chaotic, hilarious, completely unhinged, and somehow impossible to stop reading. Today, we're going to be continuing our journey through Dungeon Crawler Carl, Book 3, the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. In this episode, we're breaking down chapters 17 to 19. The dungeon continues to raise stakes, alliances are tested, the surprises keep coming, and Carl and Donut somehow find themselves in even more outrageous situations than before. We'll be unpacking the biggest moments from these chapters, including character development, dissecting the latest dungeon twists, and talking through scenes that had us laughing, holding our breath, or wondering how things could possibly get any crazier. We'll also share our favorite moments, discuss our theories, and speculate on where the story might be heading next. Whether you've been reading along with us chapter by chapter or you're just here to relive the adventure, we're glad you're here. So grab a snack, settle in, and join us as we venture deeper into Dungeon Crawler Carl, Book 3, the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. This is Don't Gaslight Me, Jesus, and let's jump into chapters 17 through 19. I am Jennifer, if you don't know me, and today with me is...
Mikey.
Timmy.
And I am Beta. Anybody else see Odyssey?
No, I don't think I'm going to see Odyssey.
Yeah. My only problem is that I got halfway through and I was like, there's no way that Homer Simpson wrote this.
The like big Nolan spectacle movies, I'm just not that into, I have discovered. I didn't see, like, I think it was around the time that Interstellar came out that I'm just like, I have no interest in these movies anymore. And I didn't see that. I didn't see Dunkirk. Tenet, everyone was like, oh my gosh, Tenet's so amazing. So I went and watched it and I was like, eh.
I'm going to say right now, I did not like Dunkirk or Tenet all that much. Of course, I watched Tenet out of order, which is funny considering how the movie is. I've started watching it from the middle one time to the end, and then I watched the beginning, and then I accidentally apparently online people are like, "Oh no, that's actually how some people watch it," and I'm like, "Oh, I accidentally watched it a certain way."
Well, there you go.
But
you just didn't know you were that cool.
When it came to Odyssey, though, the trailers make it look like it's like this epic fantasy adventure thing, or like this dark fantasy thing. It's like one of his movies that feels more like an art house movie than a lot of his other movies. Like a lot of and that's mostly because they it's the first time they've been able to do dialogue scenes in close up with IMAX. So the movie is actually very intimate and very art housey at times, and I actually kind of appreciated that aspect of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did see Oppenheimer, which I enjoyed, but that was one of the times where I'm just like, okay, the story looks really interesting to me. My friend and I did like the Barbenheimer thing, and we watched both of those back to back. So
I have no idea how those work as a like how enjoyable the viewing experience is with both of those as a double feature, but I would imagine that there's a little bit of whiplash. They're very different movies in some ways.
They are very different. Yep. I enjoyed both of them though. Although Oppenheimer feels like one of those that was like, this is huge and cool. I don't know that I need to watch it again. Barbie might be fun to watch again. I don't know.
For the performances, I already knew a lot about Oppenheimer before I went into it. It's a historical figure I was very interested in. And I read a lot about him, so I enjoyed the movie for that aspect. Where I'm like, oh wow, it's like all here. That's really cool. But yeah, it's like a 3-hour movie.
Okay, well, so sorry. Let's move into. We did 3 chapters this time. What did you guys think of these 3 chapters? And I know Jennifer has been doing the audiobook for the last few. So if you want to talk about your reactions to the audiobook, I've heard from people that they are interested in that.
I will say I enjoyed the audiobook quite a bit in these chapters, especially with the annoyance of Madison, who is a Karen, and Karens are not named Jennifer, in case anybody is curious. I just want to make sure that's well known.
Yeah, she got to the part in the audiobook yesterday where it's like Madison's original name was probably Jennifer or Ruth or something, and she's like, "What? This is an outrage." Like, what?
I promise I am the opposite of a Karen. In fact, if you make my food wrong, I will just eat it and I will not care at all. I will be the opposite of a Karen. But no, I thought that these chapters, I think she was kind of fun in an annoying way. Like, obviously, she wasn't meant to be likable, but she was kind of over the top in her Karenisms. And I thought it was funny that she was HR because I was like, yeah, HR is always over the top. I don't know what it is about HR coming from corporate anyway. So I thought these were really good. I think it's a lot of kind of, we're getting ready to ramp up for the end, and I can kind of feel that in some of this, and we're kind of learning some things. These weren't as fun to me as some of the previous chapters, but I still really liked them. There just wasn't as much super interesting things going on here. I did enjoy the fact that Donut kind of got to go off by herself for the first time. She had to have a little argument about it, and you could see that, Carl didn't want to lose her, and he was kind of afraid to see her, so that was send her and let her go that way. But I thought that was kind of cool, and I really enjoyed her having a little bit of a moment of her own. Although then we kind of later kind of have a twist of maybe there's something else going on with Donut that we don't know about. So that was different and interesting, and I'm definitely interested in seeing how that plays out because we only kind of got a hint into that with these chapters. So I think there's a lot of new elements in these that I'm very interested to learn more about. We now kind of have more of an idea of how we get off of this floor, thanks to a very helpful little, I don't remember what species he was. But whatever he was, the little
The
dude
grease
that gave us all
gremlin?
the, yeah. So he gave us all sorts of fun information, which is kind of interesting because I felt like he just wanted to blab out everything. And I don't know if it really was just the really high charisma that made this guy super happy to talk about everything they needed to know. But it was good to get all of that info and kind of now finally have an idea on how we get off of this floor. So that I think is helpful in kind of ramping up for the end. And
I get
then
the
not
feeling he doesn't get a whole lot of visitors down there. So he was just like,
yeah,
oh,
maybe that was
people,
it.
let me
Yeah,
tell you my whole backstory.
yeah, I get to talk finally. Nobody makes it down here and lives because maybe they all get eaten by the ghouls. I don't know. Those
I've
are
got all
interesting
these
too.
dialogue trees and nobody ever talks to me. I'm going to tell you everything.
Yeah, you can have them all at once. Data dump. So yeah, that part was cool. And I think the end with Frank kind of was very interesting. I will say that. I really loved that twist a little bit, although it was kind of a letdown that Frank kind of just died off as a real threat. I mean, he went from 0 to 0.
0 to
But
0.
he was a 0 to begin with, but this was a different 0. So I think with him, it was very interesting to see that he was, and I think maybe at the end of that last time we saw him, we kind of saw that he'd kind of died inside and didn't seem like much of a threat, but this was kind of the reinforcement of that. Yeah, he's not really a threat, but here's what really happened, and I was not expecting that at all. So that kind of shook me a bit, and I think that was a really good twist, kind of seeing why they ended up, well, not they, but why Maggie ended up killing her daughter. So, and that it was ultimately kind of his fault, not Carl's fault. So that was a twist. So I enjoyed that twist quite a bit. But overall, I really did enjoy these chapters. The end was very. I want to keep reading and figure out what the heck's going on, and I feel like we'll probably see Maggie soon. But yeah, I think they were pretty great. I was like, I could sit here and talk, and I don't want to talk too much because I know we're going to talk more later. So I'll be quiet now.
It's, I don't know. Maybe it's just because of, chapter 17 in the rail yard was first, and then chapter 19 was the last one we read. But when you were like, yeah, Donut goes off on her own for a while, and it was really interesting, I was like, when she went to the strip club?
Oh yeah, no, it was more like that was the way I was remembering it because
Yeah.
I don't know why. Not that was the way it was.
But yeah, no, it's not on you. It was just me thinking of the more recent chapter first, and I was just like, I'm surprised that she was so interested in Donut going to the strip club, but whatever.
I mean, that was cool too. Go for it, Donut. Go for it.
We didn't get
You
to
do
follow
you.
her to see what happened there, but
True. But there was like a t-shirt or something that we came back with, so she had some fun.
good on you, Donut. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Take a break.
You chose you, referring to me. That is incorrect. The correct answer is you.
Good Simpsons reference. Okay.
So you set something up for a while, you plant the seed, and you create anticipation in the audience, and then you think that you're going to get some kind of resolution to this planting of the seed, and then it's a big nothing burger. That's right. I'm talking about Penis Parade. They've been setting up Penis Parade for a while, and the one chance that we had to go see it before this fucking thing collapses, and we don't get to see Penis Parade. And I'm going to say that I need to put this book down because I can't deal with that kind of disappointment again. So
I mean, you missed all of the really great penises. I'm sorry.
I know, and I'm just I'm never going to recover from this emotionally. So anyway,
We'll get you a T-shirt.
yeah, I went to floor 3 and I never got to see Penis Parade. On a more serious note, no, I enjoyed the chapters. I do agree with Jennifer that we are in kind of this is Act 2 wrapping up, and we are ramping up for Act 3 is what it kind of feels like at this point, because we're just coming off of the big actiony bits that we had in the last couple chapters. So now it's time to kind of regroup a little bit, starting to get ready for the next part of the thing. I feel like the actual act break is going to be when they're on the show. And then when they come back, there's probably going to be a new development of some kind that they have to deal with. But it does feel like we're kind of gearing up for the next part of the book, which I enjoy. I enjoyed everything about learning about the ghouls, because that feels like it's setting up whatever the final big run for the exit is going to be, because it feels like each one of these books kind of has a certain type of structure that's starting to come along, where it's like we've been setting up this thing since the beginning, and now it's going to be a big race to the end, and Carl's going to try to save as many people as he can. I don't think he's going to be as successful this time, so we'll see what happens with that. And I really enjoyed part where Donut did go off by herself, but it was when she decided that she was the one that was going to go up the chain to figure out how
Yeah,
the
I think
the
that's what Jennifer was
turnstiles work.
talking about.
Yeah.
I just misunderstood.
I like that because she showed a lot of agency there. She showed a lot of, forethought, where she was just like, it would take you forever to get up there, Carl. I can definitely get up there. Like she has the dexterity for it. The size probably helps her to get up there faster. Like they'd be waiting all day for Carl to get up there. So she made the right call, and she was like, you're the only one who knows how to drive the train, so there's no reason for you to leave. Like, it showed intelligence. She took charge of the situation. She actually became the party leader for a moment, and she told Carl, because Carl wants to be the guy, but he can't always be the guy. So he's not the leader, big man in charge all the time. And I really enjoyed Donut actually like being like, no, motherfucker, you stay down here.
Yeah.
I'll start pressing buttons and try to figure out what the fuck is going on up there. So, and I really enjoyed that. Especially love the bit where he was like, find the gate controls for the mobs, and she's like, yeah, I already let them out. I didn't tell you because I thought you'd get mad. So that really made me laugh. But no, I enjoyed all that. I enjoyed them figuring out that this entire floor is just like a loosely fit together series of dungeon like pieces and shit. Like none of this is planned out well. This entire floor is such a wash at this point. Everything that they set up is broken down. And I love that he brought up the fact that the big gates looked like Jurassic Park, because I think I've said before about the whole we spared no expense, and then they spared every expense. Like I felt like very much like this was like kind of like a Jurassic Park floor, and it's just waiting for the everything to just fall apart. And then here we are now. The park is not under control anymore. Everything is breaking containment. Everything's shutting down. And I was kind of hoping that Mr. Goblin Man was going to join their party, but then we got a Karen instead. So that was a little weird. I was kind of enjoying Creole Goblin for the hot second that we had him. So that was fun. As
He was more
for
interesting. I agree. We should have
yeah, and Donut's like, he's a creep, and I was like, no, he was kind of nice. He was pretty cordial.
He was just
you know?
lonely. You were exciting and people.
Yeah, he was like, I've been down here for like they put a bunch of false memories in my head. I've been down here for years. It's like that's what it felt like to me. And yeah, and he just suddenly had friends all of a sudden. He was so happy. So, but now we're coming into the end. Carl figures out that their previous plan probably won't work now because of the mimics, and the stations are actually traps. That's a great development, because
Yeah.
Carl put all those people on that path, and now he's put them in harm's way. So that's a good little bit of tension for him. The whole thing with the coupons, that's interesting. I don't know where we're going to go with that. Of course, every book has like a little and then there was a schism, moment. It's like, and then it turns out like, no, they're friends. They're gonna stick together. It's just, this is just another little bit of tension that's being thrown in between the characters and everything. But then we get to Frank, and the whole thing with Frank never really felt like a true antagonist. And even that when we met him again after the initial attack in the safe room, he never really said anything on the show, but it was his wife that was all fire and brimstone and everything. So this actually felt like a logical end to me for Frank. But that storyline is not, settled yet. I mean, we still got to deal with his wife. So that storyline is still ongoing. This may be the end of Frank. He may survive and show up later again, and he's still just waiting to die. Who knows? But we still got his wife to worry about. She's still going to be hunting these guys. It sounds like. So it's not fully resolved, but I do appreciate touching on that storyline again. So I enjoyed that little bit. I don't feel like we're done with that at all yet. So it doesn't feel like a resolution to me. It feels like we've kicked the can down the line a little bit again. So, but I enjoyed these chapters. Like she said, like it's there's not like a whole lot going on, but we are getting clarification on a lot of things, like how all the NPCs have false memories, and this is kind of like a Westworld thing where you have to start breaking them out of their programming to get to the truth of the thing. So all that shit's fun. I love the Jurassic Parkness of this, that this floor is only going to get more broken and chaotic the closer we get to it collapsing. So that's been fun. But that's all I got.
Yeah, Frank is out there and she's pissed off and she's coming for you. So now we've got to, if we weren't already looking over our shoulder for Frank and Maggie, then Frank says he's going to stay there until the floor collapses and he dies this time. I guess we'll see if, or maybe we won't see if he actually does it. But
I don't think he's moving.
The fact is that if there's no body, there's no death to me. So we, the
Mhm.
audience, from a writing standpoint, we, the audience, need to see him die to actually believe that he's dead, in my opinion. So if I don't see him die, he's still there. He's
Right.
still
I
out
wish they
there.
did kind of like a Hunger Games thing wrap up with like at the end of a level, these are all the people that died.
The only thing I'm wondering is if they're going to do some sort of weird redemption thing with him later, that he wasn't all bad kind of thing, like a Negan kind of thing. Like I'm not saying I want that. I'm just interested to see like if that happens. So we'll see.
Mhm. That's a fair question. Like it does seem like he could be positioned for that, or he could literally just be positioned to drink until the floor collapses and he dies. So it could go either. Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's interested in revenge more than what we see him get here. I guess.
Yeah, he's never been really like gung ho about the whole thing. It's like after his daughter died, he just kind of lost everything that he was here for.
Mhm.
Because on the show, he really didn't say much of anything. It was Maggie who really kind of was all fire and brimstone there. So
Yeah, and I think we
he's
commented on that at the time that it's like, Frank's dangerous, but like he didn't actually say much here.
and we haven't really ever got any kind of like interior thoughts of Frank, other than in this scene that we get with him. He talks more about himself than we've ever heard him speak on
Yep.
himself. So it feels like they're kind of positioning him to be like, look, I'm not a good person, but I was put in a horrible situation just like everybody else. So, you know,
It's kind of like a whole Grapes of Wrath situation.
yeah, like take that from that what you will. It's like, this is how I get my revenge because I don't care anymore. So I'm like, okay, because he never really did care to begin with. So and then once he lost the daughter, like he's just like, all right, well, I'm done. This is the only reason why I was alive. So, oh well.
Uh, Sad.
Yeah.
And we could talk about it a little when we get there, but it really casts like that whole scene with Frank casts that earlier their appearance on the show where we're like, what the fuck? Why would you kill your daughter? Like it's in such a different light that we probably couldn't have even imagined at that time.
Yeah, and I do like that Carl makes the distinction of, look, I'm sad. I'm sad the daughter died. That's really unfortunate, and I feel bad for her. And I can understand you better, but I don't like you, and I don't think that you're a good person, and you kind of deserve everything that happens to you now. Like you can be sympathetic, but you can still not like the person. So
You're
that's
still an asshole. So,
yeah. Yeah, I like that distinction was made. They didn't try to kind of whitewash him too much. So that was good. I enjoyed that scene.
Tim, what do you think of these chapters?
I'm going to be the odd man out, and I'm going to say I didn't care for them.
My goodness.
It's a good cheat sheet to have. Got to have some balance here.
Look, I've enjoyed a lot of this book. This book has been a lot better than the previous 2 books. I think these are just 3 chapters that in a row I was just like whelmed. And I mean, it's cool that we have festering ghouls. I dig those. Those are fun because, you know, the withdrawal symptoms and them getting worse and worse is fun. It's a nice little elevation thing. What else happened? Fucking Madison was fun enough that I kind of wanted her to stay around for longer. They kind of just have her to just spout out exposition that we needed to hear and then go away. PvP coupons were fun. I think nothing's coming of that.
Perhaps.
Because
but now you got to see the doubt.
I agree with Mike where it's like every book we have the this is gonna be a wedge between and nothing fucking ever happens. And I'm like, okay, like she's not gonna kill Katya, and they're not gonna even pretend like she's gonna kill Katya, so
yeah, she's been the advocate for Katya like since the beginning. It's Carl who's been the shitty one, you know, this whole time.
Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, I mean, okay, whatever.
I will say I enjoyed that Carl and Katya kind of had a heart-to-heart at that point.
Yeah,
they haven't really had that yet. Yeah.
Though it almost seemed kind of like Whiplash because there wasn't any like real lead up to him really liking her that much, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I really like this girl," and I'm like, "Wait, what?"
I think the most interesting thing of the 3 chapters was the ring.
Oh, that he gets from.
Yeah, because that look. I wanted a boss fight with Frank. I wanted a fight. I wanted something, and this was
wanted
nothing.
The traditional rival fight.
Yeah.
No,
why
I understand.
not? And
I get it.
And we weren't getting that. We didn't get that. And
we might get that with Maggie still.
His revenge is this ring that's less than useful. Like, I mean, it's something. 5% to all stats is something, but like. That's not a lot, especially for a ring that's worth so much. So there's some shit we don't know about that. So
I think it's meant to be more of a temptation thing, just like the PvP coupons. It's just another element of this is another thing to tempt you to let loose your ethics and your morals, kind of thing.
Let loose all of your inner garbage.
Yeah.
I think there's still something to that we don't know about.
Oh, definitely.
Because, Max Digimon loves doing that, where he introduces something, and then we, the audience, don't know about this thing until, like, later on, where we find out that Mordecai said something off screen that explained it. So
like we'll hear later that Mordecai was screaming at the screen when he saw that he
you idiot! Leave it on the table!
Because we've gotten hints that there are cursed items in the game that aren't apparently like super apparent at first. I think that was something that was mentioned at some point. So there could be very well something that is wrong with the ring, and like, don't take it.
I think Mordecai said somewhere early on, he's like, you won't get like a cursed item in a box, something like that. So I think
you find them, and this was a found thing. This
was a box.
It was originally a box, yeah.
It was
first box.
I forgot that.
No, the thing that tells me there's so many more rules to it is even the system AI was just like, don't worry about it. This is what's happening on this floor. And I'm like, no. Long term, what happens? Like, because some of the floors, like, it was an alternating this, it does that, and altering, and this it does this one and this, and I'm like, okay, there's some fine print here that dumbass isn't fucking reading. Like when Frank says, "This is my revenge," you know what you do? You fucking toss it in the garbage,
right? That's what I was like. I was like, "You're not picking that thing up. Like, what in the world makes you think that's a good idea?"
Not only did he pick it up, he put it on for a 5% increase.
You know what?
An idiot.
I know we wait until the end to do predictions, but this is not really a prediction. It's just a thought that I have about what the ring probably does that would be awful to have. You know how it doesn't allow you to heal when you mark
Mhm.
somebody?
Mm-hmm.
What of a passive effect that it has is this is the only way you can increase your stats from now on. You have to use this.
Oh, that would be bad. Yeah.
That'd be super fucking bad.
Good job, Primal, with your already XP.
Just
like
put that shit on.
dumbass, fucking dumbass. Yeah, that I was like 5% is fucking nothing. Like, it's not worth it. Don't even let him have his revenge. Just look at it, drink your drink, and leave.
I think Carl is
Die a
he's
failure.
He's proven that he does not throw anything out. He hoards everything and he grabs anything that might give him a leg up. So Carl was never going to throw it away. It might be a character flaw that's, hidden as a character like, positive thing where it's like, oh, he doesn't throw anything out. It's like there's some things you might want
Yeah.
to.
Some things are trash and you should not take them on.
Well, or in this case, at least sell it if Frank's telling the truth about how much money.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that, but we put the damn thing on.
It's like going into a needful things shop and just being like, this ring will increase your stats by 5%, and then sold. It's free. Don't you want to hear why it's free? Nope, sold. I'll take it.
The Frogurt is also cursed.
Oh, that's bad.
But you get your choice of topping.
Oh, that's good.
I
the
also
toppings
have
contain potassium benzoate. That's bad.
Can I go now?
Okay, we're done with the bit. You can go.
The PvP coupon. I read this yesterday, so I don't remember specifically, but it's not tied to a player. It's just a bounty on a player, right?
Oh, how do you mean?
Like, Donut got the coupons, and then she's just stuffing them in places. Donut doesn't have to be the only one to receive the bonus for the kill, right?
Oh.
Oh.
So it's
I don't know,
probably
this
a
is-
really dumb idea to leave those lying around, right?
See, I wondered about that.
If you have this coupon in your inventory and you kill the crawler whose name is on it, you receive the rewards. So
Yep.
yeah, it doesn't say that it
Really
only
dumb
works for
idea
Donut.
to leave those around, Donut.
Did Katya keep the thing or did she give it to Carl?
She gave it to Carl.
Yeah,
okay, so he has his own coupon. Okay.
Yes. No one.
At least
Only thing that anyone gets from killing Carl is his bounty.
At least that tells you, Katya's probably not out to kill Carl. That she had a real good opportunity there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that that's in her. She's very much kind of quiet and reserved, and I don't know that she has it in her to go out and intentionally just kill somebody.
It's the quiet ones you got to watch out for, man.
Is the bounty tied to him or is it tied to Donut since she's the party leader?
No, they each have individual personal bounties.
Oh.
Because he and Donut each have
it's on the
bounty.
ranking.
Yeah, each one of them last time we saw I think it was like 100k for each
Yeah.
of them. So yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay. It's weird having your own death warrant in your pocket.
Right? Just carrying that shit around.
Yeah.
Probably better than, as Tim points out, probably better than anywhere else you could leave it, is
Right.
having it on yourself.
You know where it is, at least.
So if anything comes from that, I think it'll just be because Donut's an idiot. And she left Katya's somewhere, and then someone kills Katya for it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think she also did leave Katya somewhere?
I mean,
I think she probably.
I don't believe for a second she's planning anything on Katya. So if she threw away, Carl's, she definitely threw away Katya's.
I think she just did them in different places at different times, so they wouldn't be together.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
That would
Then
be
you
a
got to
hell of a
worry about
story
someone else
twist.
picking up Katya's, because then
Mm-hmm.
ugh.
Donut just murders Katya out of nowhere at the end of the book, and she's like, "What? There's some good prizes involved, Carl."
you know it'd be
I got 10 gold pieces.
do you know
I don't
it'd be
remember
crazy?
what the reward is.
It's
Is
like
that
several boxes, I think.
That
Oh.
is the thought. That is the thought that she has because she's like, okay, well, I'm never going to kill Carl, but Katya, even though I trust her, there's always the not zero chance because she didn't come with us into the to dungeon. Like I came in with Carl. I don't ever fully trust Katya just in case. Like if she's that much of a freaking Machiavellian cat, where she was just like, "You're part of our party, but you're not like part of us." And she's like, "Just in case, I'm gonna hold on to this." So, there's a not zero chance that she did keep that one.
It's possible.
Yeah.
This is another one of the things where like Katya and Carl get together to talk about Donut, but nobody involves Donut in the conversation. And then
Yeah,
Carl
but he
talks to
plans on it.
Imani.
He even mentioned that he planned on talking to Donut about it. He was just
That's
smarter
true.
about it. He knew better than to do it out loud because he didn't want it to be spammed all over, the views.
He also made sure to research it a little bit by calling Imani and being like, "Hey, is this really a thing?" And you're like, "Oh yeah." And you can't burn them either. They're indestructible. And it's like, oh, well, fuck.
I actually love the note that Carl has after the conversation where he's like, "Oh shit, Katya said all of this out loud, so the people running this thing are gonna make this a thing, and we need to nip that in the bud." Okay, let's get into these chapters. We did
all right.
Chapter 17, where we left off last time. They were going through the portal, and now they're coming out the other side of the portal into Station and Repair Hub E. And Katya's like, "Oh, does that mean there's more of these giant stations?" And he's like, "Yeah, probably. There are 9,000 something stairwells out there, so there's got to be a lot of stuff going on." And so, yeah, the whole place is like covered with zombies, except as we very quickly determine, it's like, well, they're not exactly zombies. And when we get up close to one, it is a festering ghoul. One of the unfortunate side effects of the Rev Up Amazing Cure-All Vitamin Immunity Shot is the possibility of addiction. And if you become addicted and you don't get your dosage, you start having withdrawal. And I also love that it's like, oh, by the way, once you start having these withdrawal symptoms, you die. Or worse. Like, there is no coming back. And so the ones that die don't stay dead. They come back as these festering ghouls. But they're not actually undead. Doesn't count. So none of your, like, destroy undead type stuff will work here. And also, they're all gonna, like, festering ghoul has two purposes: to devour as much organic material as possible and to find more of its kind, because if enough of them get together, something happens. It's like, oh, great, something.
Yeah, that's something. I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're setting up the ending with that.
Yep.
And they hear a boom and something like clanks at the top of they took the train into like a little covered area where the track ends. And somebody comes down a chain from a tower. He's like launched a thing to attach the chain to the top of the what do they call this? This little covered parking type area. It's a bay. It's a service bay. That's what it is, with a corrugated metal awning. And so, yes, down the chain comes this little furry guy who is a grease gremlin named Widget, Iron Tangle Steam Engine Train Technician. And the only note that I like in his description particularly is, the only reason this guy's not attacking you is the sensitivity training class Human Resource made him take. And the accent is described as a Creole guy poorly attempting a Cockney accent. So how did that sound in the audiobook, Jennifer?
That was actually pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with that guy. He was like super entertaining because it definitely was a Cockney accent and a little troll kind of voice, and it was hilarious. I enjoyed it.
Right.
I gotta listen to this audiobook.
It's a lot of fun. I find it hard now that I've listened to it so much to believe that it's really just one person doing all of those voices. So kudos to him for being able to.
The guy apparently has range like a son of a bitch. Yeah.
Yup. Okay, hold on. Now I'm going to go and see if I can find... I got the audiobooks for this at some point, and now I'm going to see if I can find a clip of... This is chapter 17.
Yeah, like I said, the next book I'm going to actually listen to in audio and kind of have my thoughts on it too.
Yeah, if y'all want to do that, I can get y'all sent the audio and the physical. That's the word I was looking for.
I think I have free Audible credits. I can get that.
Yeah, that's where I got mine. I used Audible credits.
Yeah, I think I can get it, but yeah.
Okay, hold on. Now I'm going to try to play this for you guys.
I'm going to show you guys my mixtape.
That's the Raven Blade Unlimited, and now the Nightmare. I don't care if you lost the beasties on your backside. Don't you see we're suffering from a ghoul infestation? They're about to reach critical mass.
Okay, so yeah, that's an interesting voice. Did you guys hear that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
Wasn't what I was expecting, but yeah, that was good.
I mean, I don't know what you do when somebody tells you do a Cockney guy trying to put on a Creole accent, or reverse.
Or the other way around.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just trying to think of like, all right, Gambit trying to sound like a
Oh, there you
cocky
go.
guy.
Gambit.
Gambit, if played by Idris Elba.
Nah, Idris is a professional. He would do the Gambit voice correctly.
Okay, yeah. Random side note: I was never super in love with the idea of Channing Tatum as Gambit,
It was
but
awesome.
there is, and we've seen the trailer now for Endgame, or not Endgame, for the new movie, the new Avengers movie, which does include him back.
Mm-hmm.
So I still don't know that he's the best fit, but he was so passionate about wanting to get this part. There's something nice about like seeing someone who's clearly so passionate for the role actually get it.
I think that's why it works. It's because he's so passionate about it that you can kind of even feel it when he does it. But yeah.
The fact is, too, he actually has a Louisiana accent. Like, he's from Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was doing his actual accent in the movie, and then the director and Ryan kept telling him, go, like, make it real thick. Like, almost we can't understand you thick, because it's funnier. And there would be shots where he'd be like, is this too much? And they're like, no, more. It's like, we need to barely understand you. And he's like, okay. So how crazy the voice went is actually because of Ryan.
It is really funny in Deadpool. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I bet he's going to tone it down for Doomsday.
I would kind of hope. Yeah.
I would think.
Because
he was, yeah.
I think we're going to have more dramatic scenes maybe with Gambit, which sounds funny to say, but then, you watch X-Men 97 and you're like, oh my God, Gambit's actually a really good character with depth.
I haven't started watching the new season yet. I need to do that. Anyway, back to this thing. What's this guy's name? Widget. Yeah. Widget. He's like, I don't care if you killed that War Mage guy, but you better not have hurt Brandy. See, everybody likes Brandy.
Brandy is pretty cool. I like her too.
She's a fine girl. Anybody else get that reference?
Was not expecting that reference. It really hit me. Okay. And I love, they're like, we're just trying to get to the stairwells, man. He's like, well, why didn't you take the escape velocity train? It goes right to all the stairwells.
Like, hey, you're an idiot.
How do people not know the silly crawlers always making it difficult?
Which is funny because the crawlers have not been making this floor difficult at all. It has been entirely the fact that this floor has been on the cheap and everything's held together with fucking duct tape and pin pin. It's awful. This whole floor is just like, we had a concept and our execution was awful, and it's been the most meta floor for that reason. I was just like, oh yeah, this is what happens when you cheap out. It's like going to the circus and it's like, should the Ferris wheels bolts be falling out like that? Oh yeah, it's all part of the experience. Don't even worry about it.
If you don't, worry about your life, you're not at the right place.
That Quan Chi hasn't been helping things.
Yeah, Quan Chi has not been helping, but he's also kind of pointing out the fact that they cannot get a handle on this, because you'd think that they would have put a stop to that by now. They were not thinking about flying a Mortal Kombat villain running around hitting trains with giant ass lightning bolts. So they're like, how could anybody account for that? And it's like, well, this is why people don't get celestial boxes. So turns you into a god.
So then the ghouls start trying to get on the train. There's one that looks like a spider, and Donut shoots it, and he's like, oh, hey, that was pretty good. I like a lassie with meat on her bones, especially with fight in them. And Donut's like, excuse me? Did you just call me fat? And even Widget's like, yeah, they cheaped out. They tried to combine systems, and it all broke down. So apparently the plan was the monsters stop getting the drugs. They turn into the ghouls. The ghouls, we find out later in the chapters from L, are the only ones that can the only monsters that can get into those robot rooms. Mm-hmm. The robots put them in cages. They send them down to the train yard, at which point they're supposed to be put on other trains to go up to the abyss. And everyone is like, this is a stupid system. They cheaped out trying to combine things. We've already got trains going up. Let's just use one of those instead of building a dedicated system to send the ghouls up to the abyss. And yeah, from that perspective, it seems like they've cheaped out. clearly, I think it's supposed to be intentional. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
want the ghouls to be attacking the
Yeah,
crawlers.
you gotta
Oh,
have
yeah.
a finish. Yeah.
This was on purpose. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a cheaping out. This is just how the dungeon works.
And so Widget wants Donut to accompany him back to his house. His wife's got some fish that she can cook up.
You know, when he originally started talking, I thought maybe he wanted to kill her. I was like, did you want to eat her? Because the way he was talking, it was like, I'm not real sure what's happening here.
Meat on your bones.
It does sound okay. Yeah, it sounds kind of like that. And Donut's like, "Wait, you have a wife?" And he's like, "Oh, she won't mind. She'd like a smack of you too, I reckon. Plus, she's a great cook." And
Again,
we
I
get
felt like he wanted to eat Donut here.
his come on is we get some fresh fish, and Donut's like, "Hold on, what kind of fish?"
Fish?
Like maybe I'm on board.
Her only weakness.
She has
And
many
then
weaknesses.
It's true.
Yeah, Widget's gonna help them get out of there, but as he starts heading back, the dead spider thing comes back to life and grabs him and rips him in half. So that's not good.
he died. Real fast, too. Like, real fast.
Yeah. And so they're like, okay, well, what do we do now? Do we like get out and try to walk through all the ghouls, and so they decide somebody's going to go up the chain and use the controls to get them out of here, like Widget was going to. And this is where they have the discussion about Carl is like, no, I'll do it. And Donut's like, that's stupid, Carl. Like, you know how long it'll take you to get up that chain? I can get up there real fast, and I can use puddle jumper if I have to. He doesn't like it, but he's like, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Mongo will be graduating college before you get up there. Love that line.
Majors in college, you know.
Right?
Civil engineering. Boy loves geometry.
And so she gets up there pretty quick. And there's a great line about like, how many lotion containers does one gremlin need? Jeez, this guy's so messy. And Carl says, make sure you loot everything. You never know what might come in handy. And she goes, was that supposed to be a pun? It's a good bit. And so yeah, she plays with the controls, and a few things go wrong, but she gets the hang of it and gets them onto a track that can get them out of there. And there is the one moment that somebody mentioned where it's like, hey, Carl's like, try to open that thing. And she's like, oh, actually, I already did. I didn't want to tell you because I was afraid you'd be mad, which is also a cute little. But we're letting the ghouls out of the yard so that they're a little bit less thick in here.
That'll be tomorrow's problem.
Right?
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
won't be
well-
good either, but
We'll deal with that when we deal with it.
And then they go past the giant Jurassic Park gates, and they get to Iron Tangle Substation E, which looks like a Soviet-era government building. And just as they're passing by, a woman runs out, screaming as a wolf ghoul tries to get her. And Carl's like, okay, let's let her on. And Katya's like, are you sure? This is clearly some sort of trap. I mean, look at her.
I like that she has that thought, like common sense.
Yep. She's wearing one high heel and a business suit. She looks like a suburban soccer mom, it says. Madison is a human resources associate. Her real name was probably Jennifer or Ruth, but she had it legally changed to something more trendy at the same time as her divorce.
I don't know. I guess Madison is like super trendy in like YouTube circles, so maybe.
All I thought was white lady running from a monster. This never ends well.
Fair. I've seen horror movies.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the scene in Men in Black where he like shoots the little girl in the middle of all the monsters because she's obviously the real threat.
White girl alone at night.
Quantum physics books.
Those books are way too advanced for her. She's about to start some shit, Zed.
And so we find out that Madison, yeah, there's much stuff. Multiple rounds of breast augmentation, Pilates. She has a book club where she won't admit that she loves telling the dwarves overtime is mandatory.
Every HR person enjoys that, right? Watch you suffer.
Donut has the great line, which I clipped for.
Why do they keep calling it human resources? It's racist.
I was going to use that later when we're going to get into talk about the casting news that was announced, but I just it fits here. So they let Madison on, and at first she's like, "Oh, thank you so much," and then she's like, "Wait a second, I don't recognize you. What's your employee number?" And Donut's like, "Do I look like someone who works in a train yard?" And Madison's immediately trying to. Like, Carl recognizes right away, oh, this woman reminds me of Bee's mom. She even has the same, my facelift is a bit too tight Catwoman glare. The phrasing on that. customers aren't allowed in the engines. I'm going to have to alert the transit authority. Like, Madison is immediately trying to exert her authority. And she's like, you're going to take me to Yard A, its headquarters, and then you're going to turn yourselves in.
Sure, lady.
And
Sure.
Carl's like, yeah, okay. How do we get there from here? And she's like, I don't know. Isn't there a map or something in here? There's not. Spoiler.
Also, it's generous of her to not think that they're just not going to kill her immediately after having
I know,
this
right?
conversation.
Because
Mhm.
she's so scary, right?
And so they decide there's some discussion about one of the authors has this worn path method, one of the authors of the cookbook, where you try to break, it says quests and puzzles are easier when you can break NPCs out of like their, I guess, brainwashing is essentially what you would call it. It's much easier. It's like the NPCs are the weak link because they're their own people, even with these memories. So if you can break them, you can break the puzzle.
You got to get the cast members to stop keeping the illusion up. It's like, I know Mickey's not real. It's like, no, you don't understand. They'll kill me.
Yeah, I was about to say the cast members are looking around like, no, you have to stop.
You just see laser dots appear on the guy's forehead. It's magic.
He also has to keep smiling the whole time because, if they ever stop smiling, then they die.
Don't make me do it.
And so Carl tries to start prodding her, like, you've never actually been to your apartment, have you? Or Yard A. She's like, what? Of course I've been there. It's been a while.
Which, if it was your apartment, why would it have been a while? Because
She's been putting in a lot of overtime,
I mean, you have to sleep.
I love how the breaking of the NPCs works like the fob watch from Doctor Who when they lock all their memories in the thing. And it's just like, it's just a watch. It's just a normal watch. I just can't look at it. I can never look at it.
And so they're like, look, if you'll answer our questions, we'll take you to Station 60 where you say your apartment is. And if someone there knows how to get to Yard A, fine, we'll take you there. And she's like, okay, well, what do you want to know? I don't know anything about the trains. I'm in charge of telling employees overtime is mandatory. And I'm the benefits manager for all the Kravyad and the 6 station mimics. They're like, wait, the what? Terminus, the station mimics. They get cranky if we don't send enough people. They're really ravenous. So we have the workers tell all the customers they have to get off at Station 433. And Carl's like, oh shit. And he messages Batista, like, don't get off at the Terminus station. It's a trap. And we start chapter 18 with Batista like, yeah, I know. Thanks. Too late.
Already did that.
The whole damn station is a city boss. And there were 400 of us on the train and it's eating people. Not only that, but it says it belches and little walking things pour out of it, and they're also strong. So they're fighting the little things and the tongue of the station mimic. So that is a big ass mimic that's the size of an entire train station. That's disturbing.
Means that there's no size limit to any mimics in this universe. That's chaos theory.
That's what we need is Jeff Goldblum. He can be the celebrity that survives for this floor. And so we find out all about how human resources works in the Iron Tangle and all of Madison's propositions to increase productivity, such as the Kravyad, which when an employee gets to the end of the line, that's not the engineer driving the train, they get off and the Kravyad hypnotizes them and then sends them through the portal, and they're dazed until they get on the train for their next shift. So it's too late to try to request time off at that point.
Okay, I may be stupid. But okay, I'm going to amend that. Okay, I'm stupid. I still don't understand. Yes, shut up. I still don't understand exactly what the Kravyad is. Is that intentional? Are we not supposed to yet know exactly what the Kravyad is or how it works?
She tells us a little about it. It's like they're like Naga.
It's a snake person.
Yeah, it's like a blue snake person with 6 arms.
It's like a Naga, and all they do is just hypnotize people. So they're just part of the company's thing of this is how we try to keep control of people.
And they keep portals open so you can't fight them.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
the portals are tied to their life. Yep.
Gotcha.
So there's
they're
a problem there where they're probably going to be some kind of hostile, but
but they're also kind of an essential NPC. So
yeah,
okay.
and I imagine you're going to see some teams get separated because of it.
So going to have to turn on the charm for one of those.
Yeah. Donut's going to come in handy big.
Okay, that answers my question because I was still a little bit confused on that.
the second initiative that she had is if any of the hypnotized dwarves or grapples do come to themselves for long enough to ask to go home or for vacation time, it's like, here, have this gold armband, and that will should tell the Kravyad to send you straight home after your next run. But the gold armband is just what lets the Kravyad know that they can eat that guy, so that the Kravyad gets fed also.
She has no qualms about this at all, by the way. Just like flat out. Who cares if they're going to get eaten?
This armband gives you free candy at the next station, and like they can't read, but the armband says it sends them to the camps. Like,
It added another 5% to our productivity in Q2. Even Rod was impressed. And we find out later, like, Rod is the boss, but also her ex-husband.
Human
So that's not
resources.
human resources, everybody. Just so everybody at home knows, and this is some real world advice. HR is not on your side ever.
Never.
They are there to protect the company from you.
Mm. And Donut sends a message. I don't like this lady. She's one of those people who's really mean but doesn't think they're mean. And Carl's like, yeah, you don't say. After
Yeah.
she just told us about all the people that they murder. And she also like lets us know the Kravyad, if it dies, the portal closes, so you can't go through unless they're still alive, as we just mentioned. And it was Doris's idea over in Substation B to use the existing lines for the ghouls. That husband stealing whore couldn't even get that right. I told Rod she'd be the death of him, so I guess Rod and Doris were the backstory for this NPC is just so insane.
The writers for these implanted memories, they got a lot of problems, don't they?
And then we call for a minute and explain that they found those carts and the ghouls and stuff and how that works from the robot room. And Carl's like, you can try to ride down to the end, but there'll be a bunch of ghouls there. Unless the gate's down, then there'll be fewer. And even she called, like, why would they send them all the way to the bottom just to send them back to the top? That's inefficient. And Carl goes, yeah, you were never in the military, were you?
Fair.
And Amani's points out, well, clearly this is designed to break down. Or maybe they're just bad at design. Probably both.
It's both.
It's definitely both.
And Carl has stepped out for a minute. And while he's gone having this conversation, Brandy and Madison have begun fighting. And Madison tries to fire Brandy, and Brandy's like, you can't fire me. I only deal with Portia. It's just the weirdest little argument, like workplace argument to have. It's like, why does human resources always think they're the boss? You're not, you Einzeller. And so once again, I have to look up German words. Einzeller is a unicellular organism. So good insult, I feel like.
It was an alright insult.
Also, Brandy is level 75 and Madison is level 10, but Madison not intimidated by this demon fire woman. And Cross be like, okay, yeah, this is not the time for this. No one's getting fired. Let's just get a move on. And then Carl wants to, when they get to station 24, Carl wants to check out some stuff. And Koch is like, hey, can I go with you? It's like, all right, sure. So they go up the ladder and they find like a 5 stairwells sitting in the middle of the room. No mobs or anything else like that up here. So here's where we get out, although we can't do it until 6 hours before collapse or something like that. And there's also 10 exits, most of them being colored lines, except for the one that says escape velocity number 3. So there's the escape velocity train that Widget told us about that goes down to the stairwell stations. And then he looks up into a hidden stairwell a trap door that he finds with his skill. And it's like a maintenance tunnel, which we talked about last time. You guys were like, there's got to be some maintenance tunnels. That's how some of these things are moving around.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough. But while we're exploring these empty rooms and tunnels, essentially, Katya's like, hey, there's something we need to talk about. And she gives us this whole spiel about how she's figured out she can make more than her 2 eyes. And only 2 of her eyes have to be made of flesh. The rest can be made of metal or whatever, I guess, which is kind of also disturbing. But she basically, her brain can't handle more eyes very well. She can do a 3rd eye as long as it doesn't overlap with her field of vision from the first 2. And so she's practicing one in the back of her head. And he's like, okay, that's crazy. Why is this a secret? She's like, no, that's just me explaining how I figured out the secret. When you were gone, I saw Donut try to hide this. Then she pulls out the PvP coupon. If you have this in your inventory and you kill the crawler whose name is on it, you get a gold savage box, a gold weapons box, a gold apparel box, and a platinum adventurer box. and +1 to your level. The last 2 can only be redeemed 3 times. So you could kill lots of people with lots of these coupons if you had them and get some prizes.
You know what I like about this scene is this is information that Katya did not have to give Carl. She gave him this information like freely.
Hmm.
And the other thing that I like about it too was that there is like an element of, because like me as the audience member is like, is this real or is this made up? Is this a bit of subterfuge? Is this a real thing? Is this a real coupon? And then Carl had kind of had a little bit of a similar thought, because he, before he did anything with the information, he at least, well, I know somebody who killed some crawlers, so I'm going to see if this is a real thing, just to confirm that this information was valid, like it was true. And I liked him kind of following up and figuring out with Amani. I was like, okay, this was a real thing. Donut really did have this ticket. And Katya found it, did not sit on the information, got to tell Carl. It was good. It's a good scene. It makes me as an audience member trust Katya a little bit more. So, because there was always like a question of, is she part of the team? Is she on their side?
Hmm.
And it didn't feel like she was doing this to like, because ostensibly, I mean, she told the truth. She didn't really hold anything back. She was just like, so I had this new ability. This is how I found this out, and this is the thing. So, Carl, I think you just should know this, because I don't think she was going to bring this up to you. And it to me, I feel like it gives more reason to trust Katya going forward, because she could have sat on this.
I like this scene for 2 other things too.
The heart
It
to heart.
it shows a little bit more of that losing who you are, not being human thing that is been a theme from the beginning,
Hmm.
to not lose that part of yourself, which I
Yeah.
love. I love that stuff. That's the stuff that resonates the most out of this whole series for me. And the other one is it shows a complete lack of not intelligence, not street smarts, but I don't know, savvy on Katya's part for saying this in front of live cameras. Because yeah, Carl touched on it, and I'm glad he touched on it too, because that's all I was thinking when she was talking. I was like, "You're not in a bathroom or anything. Like, there's like a quadrillion people watching right now, including a bunch of people who want Carl dead. This is gonna be bad. Don't say this stuff in front of them." But she's not thinking about that. She's still, a good person, and the dungeon will take that from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not one, but yeah, you're right, because there's not one bit of subterfuge in her, but there's also, on the other side of that, there's no guile.
No guile,
Guile's a
yeah.
good word for it.
Yeah. Because she was like, I know this thing and I don't want to keep it from you, so here it is. I'm going to lay it all out. But like, she doesn't think to conceal it from anybody else.
Yeah.
She's a very open book, and it does not feel like any kind of manipulation is happening here. I feel like Katya has proven time and time again, what you see is what you get with her. So it made me really like her, but
That's funny
also
from a
there,
shapeshifter.
yeah,
Well,
pretty
and
much.
Carl even has the moment where he's like, you can like private message me, and she's like, yeah, but that feels impersonal.
Yeah, but it's the smart play.
And that in and of itself made me kind of like her even more, because kind of like Donut, there is a bit of like just an innocence. There's an earnestness.
Or it could be that she's working like 3 levels deep, and she's like, I'm gonna say this out loud to try to draw that kind of attention on Carl, and this is my excuse for not you doing the way that wouldn't be out loud.
Carl, at
X for
least
doubt.
what. Well, here's the thing. If even if that is or isn't true, Carl at least had the guile to know to not react to it out loud.
Mm,
He internalized it, and then he's just like, I need to do some research. I need to figure out what the heck's going on. Because I believe Carl when he says, I don't really believe that Donut wants to have any part of this. Like, I really like that this was an intentional thing to like maybe drive a wedge between them, and Carl's like, I'm not going to take the bait. So like the system is trying to do this, and time again we've been tested like this, and like we're together. We're a united front. We're not going to do this. So it's an interesting development, and it's an interesting bit of lore to add to the dungeon. So that's a fun thing to know about going forward.
But you're right that, I mean, Carl even notes, he's like, in a party that was less tight knit than ours, this could cause a lot of problems. But
Yeah, like Hecla's army. Yeah.
Well, and
He's
that
like-
was funny because that was my first thought when she started talking about this before. Like, I was thinking, oh shit, this is how Hecla's going to try to get Donut by making Carl not trust her anymore and essentially isolate her, and she's going to go get her to move to Hecla by doing that. And then we went and verified it. But that was my first thought when this whole thing started, was that it was like a conspiracy between Hecla and Katya to kind of try to get Donut away from Carl.
But yeah, Carl's just instantly like, the idea of Donut wanting to hurt me is ridiculous. So
Yeah, well, it's true. Definitely true.
And the thing is like we've set up before that Donut has had thoughts of what would happen if Carl died, and she's obviously she has to think of contingencies for herself if something happens to Carl, because that's kind of come up a little bit before, where she's thought about what would happen. It's not that she's planning for it, but you have to plan for every outcome of a situation. Like there's a possibility that Carl will die at some point. So Donut is like, I need to make sure like I'm okay. Obviously, I'm going to take care of Carl, and he's going to take care of me, but you got to think about what happens. I know, in the words of Rick Sanchez, that's just planning to fail, but but it's a serious fear that you have to actually you have to give that some thought, because, and Donut has alluded, it's like, I've thought about what would happen if you were gone, but it's not like she wants it to happen. And I think we've quashed that pretty succinctly in like the last book. So
yeah, agreed. What Katya's real concern is, she found out from Hecla that when someone gets a player killer skull, you get these coupons, and you get one for everyone in your party. And she's like, well, Donut got rid of yours, but she still has mine. And Carl's like, well, maybe she just got rid of yours at a different time. Like, it's possible. I'm sure Donut got rid of it. I'm glad you told me, and I'll talk to her about it, but like, don't freak out, okay? There's nothing that we need to worry about here.
I love how the Borant, how they run this thing. They are very anti-cooperation between any of the crawlers. Even though there's a party system, they have all of these other systems in place that get in the way of or directly interfere with it. Yep. And that's been a fun element so far, because it's like true reality show function, where it's like, all right, we've made these teams, but we've also added a hidden mini game where the team can turn on itself at any time.
They want the drama. Yeah,
because
reality
drama.
TV.
That's, you got to make good TV. That's right. That's been really fun so far.
And so Carl immediately talks to Imani, who, she got player killer skulls. We knew this. And so, like, hey, what can you tell me about this? And she confirms it had one coupon for every member of the party. Tried to burn them, but they wouldn't burn, so I left them behind on the first floor. And Elle, when she got her player killer skull, did not get any of these. So it looks like maybe only the first member of the party to get one gets them. And she says that Donut already talked to her. Like, Donut messaged me when she got them, and she was really upset coping with that skull. And so I told her to get rid of them. She's like a child, Carl. She doesn't process things the way a person does. Talk to her about it. And Carl's like, wow, I didn't know that Donut and Imani chatted with each other. Now I feel like he's feeling kind of a way about this. Like, Donut has other friends.
I'm not her whole life.
Outrage. And then he kind of prods Katya on something like, hey, so you said that your friend got these coupons when like this guy tried to get with your party and she killed him. Was it just because he was a guy? And Katya's like, no, I mean, he was a creep. I don't think Kekla would care if a guy joined. And he's like, oh, so it's just a coincidence that all of the daughters are women? You think she'd let me
I feel
join?
like the word implies you should be a woman, but maybe that's just me.
Right. And Katya's like, I mean, maybe she'd let you join. I think she'd want to talk to you first because she thinks you're kind of reckless, but she really likes Donut. Okay. All right.
I can be a princess if I want to.
And they visit some other stations, and they find identical setups with stairwells, empty stairwells, and tunnels and stuff like that. So nothing shocking. And this is where Carl kind of has some internal monologue about, I like Katya. She's quiet, but she's so earnest, and even when she's afraid and hesitant, like if she says she's going to do something, she does it, and she usually does it really well. And with some more training, she'd be really good. But Odette warned me about Hecla, and Katya clearly wants to go back to Hecla's party, so maybe we need to dump her sooner than later. And then we get a little kind of flashback moment about like Carl's like, why is everything complicated? Why can't people just be loyal? And we find out that B was planning on getting rid of Donut.
That part hit real hard.
Yeah.
All the specifics right there. That was really fucked up.
Am I crazy, or did we already know that?
I think we've been hinted at in a different book.
Well, we already knew that she was planning on getting rid of Donut, but the specifics of it we never knew.
Okay.
Because I'm with you. We already kind of knew it, but now knowing why is different.
I was like, did I imagine that?
No.
I think Carl mentions it like in passing.
Yeah, he said it in passing because he just said, "I wonder if she knows that B was going to get rid of her." But then when we actually knew the specifics of it, B's a monster.
Yeah, she's just like, Carl, do you know how much money Donut is going to sell for? She's a former international grand champion, and she's past her prime. I don't understand what you're not getting about this.
Yeah, she was going to turn her into a breeding cat, and I'm just like, we did not know that before, and that's pretty awful.
Yeah, and she's going to get like 2 kittens from Donut's aunt or cousin or something called Sugar Bun.
Yeah, and
so she's going to some more show cats.
Because I want younger cats, and it's like the people that get rid of their elderly pets or their older pets to get younger pets. It's just really kind of fucked up.
It's gross. Yeah,
that one hit pretty hard to me.
I was like, my cats are part of my family, and they don't go anywhere until they die, and I don't want them to die. I don't mean that, but I just can't imagine thinking in some other way. It's like you have a child, and they're 18. I guess I'm done with them now. I'm never going to see them again.
But you don't understand. She's past her prime for a show cat. So we can get lots of money from selling her as a breeding animal. Like, it's so gross.
I may not like them, but they're part of the family, so fuck you.
And so it makes some of the stuff, like we saw, like there was another thing about Carl, like he wanted to like move and take Donut with him or something, like kidnap Donut basically. And so it casts that in a new light as well.
Yeah, because he was talking about how much she was like worth and everything, and he was going to steal the cat. But then Carl, because he's an asshole on the surface, because he doesn't like showing how much he cares, he loved Donut. He loved Donut from the beginning.
Yep.
She was his little buddy, and he was going to kidnap her for her own safety.
He's just like, I don't care if you get another cat, but why are you going to give this cat away? And she's like, no, but money, Carl, come on. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, that to me showed me how much Carl really did care about her. So I thought it was sweet, and it was also a little bit of exposition. I was like, B may not be a great person.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. Like, how much do we trust Donut's a judge of character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, B sucks is... I feel like every piece of evidence we get just compounds like B is terrible. And eventually we reach the employees-only station at station's platform 60. And there's supposed to be a giant like city here with apartment buildings and shops and all this stuff. Yeah, there's nothing. It's like one little stairwell that leads up to a tiny room covered in cobwebs. And Madison's like, no, this is where all the employees live and their families. What did you do? It's like, now you know why they made you give everyone mandatory overtime.
It's the existential crisis of it.
Carl even offers, like, hey, we'll take you with us to the next station that has a Desperado Club, and you can... And she's like, no, I'm staying here. Someone will come to investigate. If not security, Rod will come. Rod always comes.
Does he know?
And Carl's been paying no attention. He's like, who's Rod? And he's like, her ex-husband, Carl. Haven't you been paying attention? He's the CFO.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was listening to the fake backstory for this fake person. I'm sorry.
And so it's like, all right, we'll leave you here, whatever. Bye, Madison. Go fuck yourself, okay?
Bye.
And she goes right back at you, boxer boy. And then you remember, oh yeah, Carl is.
Yeah, still pantless.
It's easy to forget, but. And as they leave, Donna's like, I know who she reminds me of, Miss Beatrice's mom. She's just like her. And suddenly the comparison is not so funny to Carl anymore. It's like, all right, let's get out of here.
Just bad memories.
Yeah. And so we've got that next. It's not an interview. They're going to do a voiceover thing for a documentary series, is what it sounded like. And so Zev says, we'll put that off for a little bit. And we're going to stop by the Desperado Club. And he's getting updates from everybody. Imani and her crew rode down to Train Yard D, and the gate there was also breached already, so they made it to the building, and they're planning their next move. And Batista's group has found the Kravyad, who is just a multi-armed snake woman NPC, and she tried to hypnotize them, but Batista neutralized it. I used my last Vokanai, the purple variant, he says. And Carl's like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but whatever.
Me nodding and saying yes to any time Mike asked about driving things or map or directions. Yeah.
Sure.
It's funny because, like an Alzheimer's patient, I will forget that he does not know where anything is. Like, he has no sense of direction, and rarely has any kind of sense of time. So we'll be driving someplace, and I'll be like, "Hey, we went here before, and did the thing," and he'll nod. He'd be like, "Mm-hmm,
yeah,
of course,
yeah,
yeah."
I was there.
There was the one thing where he was just like, "Oh, that place is new," and I'm just like, "We have driven past that for 3 years now. It has been there." It's like he's like, I just noticed it." And I always
amazing.
forget. I always forget because I'm I'm always used to kind of being aware of where everything is around me because I like not having to rely too much on navigation. Kind of like how if you rely too much on autocorrect, you learn how to spell shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'll just be talking at him, and he'll just be nodding, going, "Yep, yep, yep, yep." And then after a while, I'll be like, "You don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, do you?" And he was like, "Yep, not at all, not in the least."
Look, it's always better because why second guess?
Everything's bright, shiny, and new that way. Makes life better.
Yeah.
Because, you're like, is it 3 lights over to your right? And I'm like, yes. Because what good is it to go? I don't fucking know. Maybe.
And then you pay me the compliment of, I think you're probably right, so why would I second guess you? And you're just like, hey, you said it, so it's gotta be correct. And then if it's wrong, it's like, well, I guess we both forgot. It's a win-win.
Dumbass, that's not where it's at.
Didn't you know? It's like, oh yeah, because he used to pull the thing out on me, the southern thing of I missed the turn, and he goes, "Where are you going?"
I got better at that.
I know, but I was just like, you pulled the southern driving the thing. It's like the equivalent of bless your heart while you're driving.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
I didn't
You
know
don't
that
know
was a
where you are, do
stereotype.
you?
I did not know that was a stereotype, and I've done it most of my life. If someone missed a turn, I'm like, where are we going?
See, I'm worse than that because if Jennifer's driving somewhere and misses the turn, I'm just like, I assume that she knows where she's going, and I'm not even gonna say anything because I assume if she's going this way, it's for a reason. So whatever. And then 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, I missed my turn. I was like, yeah, I noticed, but
Yeah, because I'll go on autopilot and I'll just be going home or going, to drop a kid off at school or something because I zoned out and I'm thinking about something else.
It's funny too because me and him have this caveman shorthand that eventually, because it used to be he would just be like, hey, the turn's up here, because I'll forget because I'll go into autopilot too, and then at this point all he does is just point and he goes, nah. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's a fact. That is a hard fact.
Yeah, I'm not embellishing at all. That is literally he'll just make a sound and be like, nah, and I'll be like, oh yeah.
Hey, whatever works.
It's a thing when you've hung out with someone for near 2 decades. You become sort of psychic.
But so okay, back to the thing that we're doing.
Oh yeah.
they're having Batista's party is having to negotiate with the Kravyad to try to get through her portal. So they've got a former police negotiator among them, and who's talking to her through the door, and she's threatening to kill herself if the crawlers try to come closer. And because more than half of them have sold their hats, this is like their last chance to try to make it back down to the bottom. And then we go to the Desperado Club, where Bomo has his spell and the Sledge has a spell now. So, oh no, Bomo is the one with the new one. Sorry. Anyway, one of them bought a spell against magic. One of them bought a spell against physical attacks. So now between them, they got them covered.
Nice.
And so they exchange names with or get into the chats with everybody, all the crawlers they find in there. And then Donna's like, hey, we should go to the strip clubs and see if somebody's in there. Plus, I've always wanted to see a naked man dance around, one with better moves than that weird guy who came over when you were gone.
I like the tube sock. Yeah.
Yes. He used to put your socks on his wang and twirl them around in the mirror.
Which, why?
Calling himself a king.
This is a guy thing I don't understand. Like, why?
It's called helicoptering, and it's fun.
Okay.
But with someone else's socks? Like,
I know, that's the part that I'm like, it's like putting on somebody else's underwear, like, his feet.
That's just a power move.
It's a dominance thing. Yeah.
Oh, he's in marking territory. Got it.
In ancient times, cavemen would take the socks of other cavemen. No, okay. Let's continue.
And then we spot a purple-skinned elf guy at the bar who we instantly recognize. It's Frank. Frank Q.
Frankie!
He is extremely underleveled. He's level 17 right now. And he is a blood assassin. Still with his Seahawks beanie on his head. And Frank's like, hey, Carl goes over to sit by him. And he's like, Carl, is that really you, man? Where's the cat? And Carl's like, yeah, she's around. Where's your wife? I don't know. I haven't seen her since the end of the second floor, which was right after the interview that they had. Like, that's the last time he saw her. We got in a fight about you and the cat. She wanted to hunt you down, and I wanted to sell the potion and like work on leveling up. He doesn't even know what race and class his wife picked. It's like, I don't know, is soul-sucking bitch a class? Probably is. Anyway. He says that he was so drunk that he thinks like his game guy just picked this for him when he passed out. He doesn't remember anything about the class and race selection. And so he met up with some guys on the third floor and worked with them for a while. But after he told them the truth, they ditched him. And then he wound up with some people at the beginning of this floor on a train, but they didn't want anything to do with him. So he's just going to drink until the world ends. But I'm glad you're here. I'm going to get revenge for my daughter. I'm going to give you a present. That's how I'm going to get my revenge. And yeah, Maggie, she wants to kill you and your cat. But it's not your fault. You defended yourself. You did the same thing I would have done. She's a little more biblical with her thirst for vengeance. But anyway, here's this ring. Somebody offered me 300,000 gold for it on the last floor. So the Enchanted Night Worm's Ring of Divine Suffering. One of the most formidable items in the dungeon, if utilized properly. Plus 5% to all stats. You can mark somebody for death. Marked for death, not just Steven Seagal's magnum opus, one of the dungeon's most infamous skills. So when you activate it, you get a list of all the crawlers. Only crawlers with 100% can be selected. It marks them, and then if they die, you get a +1 stat point to whatever their current highest stat is. And the +1 benefit increases by 1 for every 3 people you kill. So after 3 people, you start getting +2 to your stat. After 6 people, you start getting +3 to your stat. So if you kill lots of people, you could end up getting lots of stat points that way.
At the cost of your soul.
But also, while you have someone marked before they're dead, you don't get to heal at all. So that's bad.
That's bad.
And it functions differently on different floors. And it's like, don't worry about all that right now. As somebody mentioned, it's like, right now, you get +1 stat point, 5-hour cooldown, and marks take 30
You
seconds.
should really worry about that right now. I'm just saying.
In an RPG, when you get an item that has a whole lot of caveats and rules and stuff like that, and it's like, but in the long run, it could really be used. And I'm just like, does it increase damage? No. Does it increase experience gain? No. All right. Well, I'm leaving. I'm selling this shit the next shop I go to.
I mean, 300,000 gold is no joke. So yeah, I'd probably sell it real quick.
Oh, you're saying that with just the price of selling this one thing, I could get a whole lot of other better things? My God, it's a
crafting benches.
Yeah, this is a hard. It's already sold. I've already sold it.
Yeah, it's gone. And it's gone.
And it's gone.
But he got this in a box for fighting a family member as he entered the dungeon. That's the spirit box or some shit like that. So we find out that like him and his wife were not together, or she's his ex-wife, whatever. They were together that night because their daughter had run away from home, and his wife's brother was a sheriff's deputy and found her and called them, and they both came to pick her up, and they were in the middle of fighting when everything went to hell. But their daughter refused to fight when she got into the dungeon. She did not want to kill any. So the compromise was, here, you put this ring on, you mark people, we will kill the people, and you will get stronger. And at some point, Carl realizes, oh my God, like he's picking up on what happened. You let your daughter use it? And he's like, no, not let. I made her use it because she was refusing to fight. And so we marked you, and you got away, and then she could not heal. And there was that explosion that horribly injured her, and she was going to be suffering until we could find you and kill you if that was ever going to happen. So that's why Maggie killed their daughter, to save her from suffering. And Carl's just like, oh, geez, that poor girl. Like, I don't feel any sympathy for this piece of shit next to me. He deserves all of that, but
And he does.
I understand him better, and I still feel bad for the poor kid.
It's easier ways to grind like levels in the dungeon.
Especially since if you're in a party,
you
there's
You get
should
some of the
yourself.
XP.
share.
Yeah,
There's
this is all dumb. I have absolutely no sympathy, nor do I understand the thought process.
It's like
I mean-
I inject my child with steroids at night, and we can't take them to a hospital because we'll go to jail. Like, what are you doing? All these choices you're making are bad.
We know that eventually she could have become like a support class or something and been like healing her parents while they fought. I don't know that they had that information, depending on what their person told them when they got into the training guild.
No, this feels like cop logic to me. So yeah, you know,
Yeah, he confirms that he works for ICE. His wife was a Seattle PD detective.
nothing bad happens if you kill anybody, but God help you if you get hurt. It's like that's cop logic. We thought we would just get suspended with pay.
And so eventually Donut comes over and says, come on, Carl, we should go. And before they leave, Carl asks, like, hey, did Maggie ever take that potion, the Fine Crawler potion? He's like, yeah, that's what we were fighting about. I wanted to sell that and the ring and buy some good gear and train. And she just wants revenge. So I don't know if she took it or not. Our guide suggested she wait until she picked a class, and then she could get the skill up to a class that would let her get it up to 20 instead of just 15. But I don't know. And he's like, okay, I'm sorry your daughter had to die. She didn't deserve that. Goodbye, Frank. And as they walk away, this drunk guy is like, vengeance is mine. And that's the end of the chapter. So, okay. For next time, we're going to do 4 chapters, actually, 20 through 23. Mostly because 23 is a real short chapter. We are now 57% of the way through this book. And at the end of chapter 23, we're going to be 66% of the way through the book. So we're going to be 2/3 of the way done after the next time. What do you think is going to happen? Where are we going? Predictions.
I've lost my grip of the timeline in this particular dungeon, and I think it's because they don't sleep anymore. They do like the 2-hour thing, and they're good for like fucking forever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So my sense of time is off. I feel like Mordecai should be coming back soon, right? Like because he's going to be back for the last part of this dungeon, but I don't know where we are.
Let me see when the last time to collapse was mentioned.
And I would like to hear what Mordecai has to say about what they have done. Just because I think it would be great. And that might be a downfall of the audiobook too, because I think those are in the chapter headings. Like,
yeah, it's in some of the chapter headings. I don't think it's in all of them. But yeah, chapter 19 did have it. Time to level collapse, 4 days, 20 hours.
yeah, so he didn't come back till 2 days before, right? Not what we said, like 48 hours before the dungeon falls.
Yes. Yeah, so we got a couple days left.
Let's see. So, I think the biggest things that we're going to have, obviously, is we're going to have a talk with Donut about the coupon, and I think it's going to be, something silly. She's not planning on using it. I think we all can agree on that. Like, I don't know if she got rid of it somewhere else, which is kind of my thought. Like, get rid of it, but don't get rid of them together just in case somebody finds them. And then, although I feel like the smarter thing to do would have been to just give it to that person, because then they can put it in their inventory. And you can't use it on yourself. So I think now that Carl has his, that's like the safest place. So I feel like she should have just, given it to Katya, and then Katya could put it in her inventory, and then it's useless. But I can get where she's coming from, because that was kind of the advice she was given. Get rid of it. But like we've said, she thinks like a child, so get rid of it. If you take that literally, she's going to find somewhere and just ditch it. With so much time left on the floor, I don't know that it was smart to like just get rid of it on the floor, because I think it could have easily been found by somebody else at some point in time. this one didn't. But I don't know that we know for sure that Katya's isn't going to be if she did get rid of it. So maybe that's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to find Katya's and maybe try to kill her for the extra shit. And that would be an interesting
I would
end to this
imagine,
book.
yeah.
Yeah. So now that I've thought through that, that is my thought for the end of this book. We're going to lose Katya because somebody's going to find that ticket. I could be way off, but we're going to go with that because it just pops into my head.
Somebody that we know, or is it going to be like a rando that finds it and comes and hunts her down?
I think it's going to be somebody we know because I think it'll be kind of the betrayal of it all. There's another like nail in the coffin too. This isn't like what we're used to. People don't give a shit. We're all kind of in it for ourselves.
I mean, worst person to find it would be Quan Chi, you know?
Ooh, that would be interesting because we've already.
Oh yeah, he would have no qualms, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've talked about him a bit in this book already, so that would make sense. So yeah,
He
I'll go
picks
with that. I like that idea. So yeah,
He
I think
picks it
that's
up. He's like, I've got a golden ticket.
oh, that would be funny. Got the whole Willy Wonka cane and top hat, doing a dance.
I've got a shining chance to kill someone.
I want the money. So I'm gonna go with that. I think that's gonna happen. I think we got a little bit more grinding to do, and probably the next couple of chapters we still need to do our voiceover. So I think we'll do that, and I think that's kind of where we'll have the chance to. He already kind of mentioned that's where he wants to talk to Donut because obviously we don't want that on screen. We don't want to feed into that. So I think we'll have that conversation and then kind of set up for maybe Katya dying this book, which would be sad. I kind of like Katya. She's growing on me slowly, very, very slowly, but I like her.
Okay, fair. We still have waiting out there in the wings that Katya, Carl says in the section, like she still wants to go and hook back up with her old group. So I guess that would be irrelevant if she ends up getting killed.
I think it turns it a little bit because if she got killed, would we all of a sudden make enemies out of Hekla?
Oh, that's
because
true.
we didn't protect her well.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it like that, but you're right. So yeah, that might be more interesting for the story long term. It's like Katya dies and we've made a powerful enemy. Okay.
I'm going to go off of some of what Jen said in regards to Katya. If someone does find that ticket and goes after Katya, it might be a thing that even if Katya survives the attack and she gets horribly mangled, it's already been established that she can take a bunch of really terrible injuries and still be functional, which is a horror, body horror element of itself. I would imagine if she got really badly hurt but not dead in the encounter, but now she is like irreparably harmed because of it, like Odette level.
Oh, interesting.
I feel like that would sour her on being in this party anymore, where it's like kind of a thing where the party failed her and she goes back to Hecla's art. She's like, look, I'm not going to vow vengeance or anything, and I'm not going to say anything hurtful here, but I don't ever want to see you guys ever again. Like it would be, I think, more cathartic from a story standpoint if they failed her from the beginning in every way, and then if they ultimately failed to like even protect her from something that was entirely their fault, that would be enough reason for her to like go her separate way from, because I can't imagine that Katya is going to be a long-term thing, but I think it's more emotionally affecting and sadder if they part on bad terms. So I kind of, because we've already set up that like she is still losing more and more pieces of herself, and she continues to lose pieces of herself being with them, whether it's parts of her personality, it's how she dresses, how she looks, her body composition. And then if she's in a situation where she loses even more of herself by something that was totally preventable, that's their fault, there's enough reason for her to like be like, look, I know you guys didn't intend for this to happen, but I was safer when I was with Hecla. They didn't treat me really well, but I was at least taken care of for the most part. You guys, you're on your own. So I think that would be actually more because her just dying, it would be like, oh no, now they're sad because they fucked up, and it's like, no, I think it would actually be more of a lesson for them if she lived, but she's not going to live well now because of you guys, and that's something you guys got to live with. So I think that's where I see something going on with Katya. Because when she first showed up, I was like, oh, I had the same thought. I was like, oh, it's gonna be sad when she dies because she's the innocent. But now it's seeming more in like they're really pushing the theme from the beginning of like losing your humanity, losing yourself. And I feel like if she'll just lose one too many things being with them, and she's like, you guys are kind of low key monsters. So like the more you try to hold on to it, the more you lose, is what it feels like an ongoing theme is. So that's been interesting. As far as what I think is going to happen next, I'm not totally certain on that. I know there's going to be more deaths before the end of this floor, definitely. Nobody is safe. As far as what I think is going to happen at the end, we're going to get a ghoul Akira. All the ghouls are going to hit critical mass because we've been told that that's a bad thing. And
It doesn't sound like a good thing, so yeah.
yeah, so I would imagine maybe they turn into a giant Akira, and they you just have blobs of ghouls just barreling down subway tunnels, killing people because all the tunnels are going to be open because most of the trains are going to be destroyed or some shit. So people are going to be trying to escape, and you're just going to have this rolling blob of flesh and drug addiction coming at you.
Ugh.
So yeah, I mean it's been a horror level since the beginning. So I was trying to think of what would be more horrific, and I mean maybe a more horrific thing would be if they uh don't they aren't zombies but they function like zombies. Like I wonder what would happen if somehow they were able to infect crawlers with this condition. That sounds like a fate worse than death. So
Yeah, it does.
so like I was saying before, like I think the third act is going to have something to do with the ghouls. So that they're going to be our final obstacle getting to the stairwells. So
Okay.
yeah, that's my prediction. I don't have a whole lot to predict here because this was about closing up some things and maybe teasing
Mhm.
a few things, but there's not enough information for me to really know exactly what happens next. So
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Well, yeah, we've definitely teased like something is going to go on with these ghouls, so it would make sense if they were like our last hurdle, like you say. Okay. I also like what you said about Katya because, especially the way you phrased it, where she's just gonna be like, "You guys are kind of monsters." Like, what would hurt Carl more than like all this time he's like somebody he likes and trusts being like, no, you guys," like being told he's a monster by that person would probably be more hurtful than any of the stuff he's gone through.
Yeah, because I always go back to the doctor quote of always try to be nice but never fail to be kind, and I feel like they've failed to be kind a lot with Katya, so
Mm,
they need like a kind of come to Jesus kind of moment, I
fair.
think, because
Yeah.
they have not been treating her well at all.
Okay. Tim, what do you got?
Well, Mike kind of sniped my big one.
Whoa, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Who gives a shit? We're not winning points. The Akita thing. That's also what I thought was going to happen, was that the zombies were going to eventually just morph into something big, and we're going to get our first city boss. Have we fought a city boss before?
I don't think we have.
Yeah, we fought burrow bosses. I think that's the
And
highest
neighborhoods. We fought a bunch of neighborhoods.
Yeah, but
We saw somebody else, like I think, fighting a city boss and getting killed on
yeah,
the thing,
And I
but we
think
didn't. I don't think we've done it.
I think it's designed that way. The zombies overflowing and breaking down shit. That's not an oversight. That's exactly how it's supposed to be, and that's why the stairways open up a few hours before collapse, because there's going to be a giant Akita going after everybody. So yeah, I think that's the ending of the book now, is that these zombies, yeah, they're slow and stupid now, but they're going to get faster and blob into each other.
I didn't even think about the fact that they've been funneling all of them into this enclosed space, and it's like when
Mhm.
it's kind of like locusts when their population gets too high, they transform.
Yeah.
Like because all locusts are grasshoppers until they do a Pokemon evolve and they turn into their swarm form. So
Then they become cannibals even. They just gotta constantly eat and swarm.
Yeah, so maybe it's like a locust swarm kind of situation. They just turn into a ball of mouths.
And that's the last hours of the of the dungeon is just city boss.
That's why they're not letting any of the things open up until that 6 hour point. There's
Oh yeah.
there's a time limit where the switch happens and they're like, okay, we've turned on the ghouls and now they're in locust mode.
Borant wants this to end quickly because they're running out of money.
They also want it to end dramatically.
And yeah, this is a trap. It's a slow ticking clock, like the old Batman 60s show, where it's like sand is slowly coming in. How will they escape this time? Yeah.
Yeah, there's also there's a thing about how every floor we've had so far, the trash mobs eventually become a bigger problem. Yeah, that's kind of been a running thing. So okay. So
well, the rats didn't on the first floor, I don't think. But
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we didn't kill enough rats. Maybe they would have.
And it was baby level, so it was more get used to the dungeon than anything else.
I can't remember, but I think I tried to predict a rat king at one point.
Yeah, I remember a rat king.
Yeah, and then that's what we get. We get a ghoul king. They all just tie together into a big ball.
But yeah, I like you bringing up the fact that this floor is the special one where it's like you can't go down until 6 hours before. There's got to be a reason for that, right?
Yeah. They know you're going to break, the trains. There's going to be a problem, and now everyone's got to try to go to these places that all of the zombies and the massive flesh is coming.
Yeah.
Fight.
Okay. I don't want to see that, honestly, but I think it makes a lot of sense, and it's going to be gross. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Well, we're going to start on a new segment this episode. We're going to talk about when there is some. We're going to talk about the TV show news, and the big news right before we recorded this episode was that they have announced the casting for Princess Donut in the TV show, and it is going to be Jeff Hayes, the audiobook narrator.
Love it.
So that's why I had to put I had that clip so that for those who haven't heard from the audiobook, you can hear you get at least a piece of what he sounds like as Donut.
Yeah, and I feel like they don't really have much of a choice in that because I feel like a lot of people really love these audiobooks, and I think changing that voice would have been a cause of a bunch of uproar if they had. So I feel like that's the only way they really could have gone and kept the fan group very happy.
Honestly, I thought if they were going to give him one role, it would be the AI.
Well, and see, my thought is he could do both of those because there's no reason he couldn't. He does them both in the audiobook. So I was thinking that same thing. I was like, really? I mean, that would be good, and I feel like that would be a good choice too, is to put him in both of those roles. But they may have another idea. We'll see.
I thought they might want to get a bigger celebrity for Princess Donut, like a female celebrity that would bring people in.
That was my thought as well.
Well, that's the thing is that Seth MacFarlane is a guy who understands voice actors and voice acting and how you want to get the best person for the role, not necessarily the best person for the, the trailer and putting the name on the, the front of this episode. He's the guy who started out in animation and voice acting, so he can appreciate the fact that, like, get the best voice for it, and if people already like this voice, like, I wish that he produced more shows like that, because there's plenty of things out there that they obviously got this person because of the name and not because they had the ability to do justice to this character.
Yeah, and I feel like the series already has the huge fan base, so I don't know that you need as much to add to the fan base as much as you need to make the fan base happy, but
you're probably right. A lot of people would not see it that way, though, because, in Hollywood, it's like, well, these people are going to tune in no matter what, right? How do we get more people to make more money? Whereas I am more of that other belief where it's like, if I already like the thing, I would like you to respect the people who are your base in the first place, please.
Yeah. And also because even though it's live action, there's going to be plenty of CG and animated characters that are going to be in the show. Donut is definitely going to be a CG element, so it's essentially an animated character. So get the voice for the thing. You don't need an actor for that, like a physical actor. So, like how the rumor of, or is that confirmed, or the rumor that Seth Green could be Mordecai?
No, definitely not confirmed yet. But
That's him trying to become Mordecai.
Yeah,
And
we've got names like Seth Green is out there. Like, I want to be in the show. Felicia Day is a big fan of the book series and has done a lot of stuff with Matt Dinniman, and she wants to be in the show. So it's cool to have something that famous people are out there competing to be like, hey, well, we want in. I pulled up. They made the announcement about Jeff being Donut at San Diego Comic-Con.
mhm.
And right after the panel, they did an interview. And so I pulled up some of the stuff from the interview. And what Matt Dinniman says is, before they even started having casting conversations with the Hollywood people, he went to Jeff and he was like, if you could pick one character to play, which one would you pick? And Jeff Hayes was like, Donut. With no hesitation whatsoever. He's like, that's the one.
Well, I like the
So
fact
that
that
may have
he's
had something to do with it.
honoring his relationship with him and making sure he gets a
Yeah.
part in it.
Seth seems like a cool guy.
And apparently the guy that they have who's going to be the head writer for the show, his name is Chris Yost. And what has he done? I'm not sure. I'm not going to look this up. Chris Yost is an American comic book writer.
That's who I thought it was when I saw. I was like, wait, is he the guy that did like New X-Men and shit, or Next X-Men, whatever the fuck it was? He's
Nextman.
That's a different. That is an actual thing.
He did the screenplay for this Avatar Aang, the Last Airbender movie. That's
Wait, the bad one?
had some issues. No, the one that was going to be released, and then they decided to make it just streaming.
He wrote
the
Thor:
new
The
one.
Dark World.
He wrote.
Oh my god!
Written by He did Thor: The Dark World. He done some Ninja Turtle stuff. He did. Yeah, he was a writer on Thor Ragnarok as well.
Okay.
He did an episode of The Mandalorian. Oh, he did 23 episodes of The Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which I quite like that show.
Okay.
10 episodes of Cowboy Bebop 2021 series.
Yeah.
the live action. He sounds like a writer for hire. I'm not going to, I'm not going to shit all over him based on the things that he did that I don't like, because there's a lot of studio manipulation and oversight shit that can happen. So I'm not going to judge him too harshly for some of those things.
Well, according to the interview, Yost was already a member of Dinniman's Patreon and into the book series before it ever got optioned by anybody. So he's a fan beforehand. So that's probably good.
I'm not gonna make any judgments right now. I'll wait until I see it to make any judgments of it. Like, he could probably do a good job. Like, I used to think that Lindelof couldn't write worth a damn, and then I actually really enjoyed his Watchmen season that he did. So I have had to eat my words before. So I'm not going to make any knee-jerk judgments at this point.
Let's see what else is in this interview. He says he met McFarlane after getting an invite to McFarlane's Christmas party in L.A. Dinniman says, and when we made the deal for the series, what he cared about more than anything was that everybody involved cared about the project. Yost remembers.
Could Patrick Stewart be the old guy who pisses and summons the demon?
That would be great.
That would be hilarious.
I think Patrick Stewart's done with physical acting.
But I want
him. He mentioned that he had retired acting, and then like a day later said that he stopped the retirement already, and he's probably just going to do voice work from now on. The man is like nearly 90.
Yep, he is. Another interesting note is that Hayes says that he's already seen some cats in mocap. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
They want to get some real reference animations,
reference
and stuff
motion
like that. Yeah.
And at the panel on Thursday, Matt Dinniman says that he actually is not certain how the series is going to end, even though he's working on the 9th out of 10 books right now.
Well, that's concerning.
Hopefully I'll be done with the whole thing before anyone sees the show on air, he says. But I can't promise that because I don't know how long either of those things is going to take to happen.
It's going to take the show a minute to start.
Yeah.
Unless we got a Winds of Winter situation here. I got TV money now. I don't care.
I think it's cool that if they actually did basically let Jeff pick which character he wanted to play. And so if that's the only one they give him, So be it. I think he could also. We know, like Jennifer mentioned in this very episode, that it's sometimes hard to believe that it's one guy doing all these voices. So he could totally get away with doing more than one voice, and people might not even notice.
The question I have is that anytime Mordecai changes forms, does he change the voice or is it the same voice?
Ooh, that's a good question.
He changes the voice.
He does change the voice?
So
Yeah,
there you
I
go. Every
don't
season
know-
we have a new Mordecai.
Yeah, it could just be a new Mordecai every time.
Yeah, it's
I
the
don't,
guest star.
I don't know. I have to go back and look. I'm not sure how much it changes. I think probably there's sometimes where it's less than others, but
I haven't actually done a chapter with Mordecai in it because I started after he left this book, and I haven't done any of the other books.
I can think of at least a couple examples that I recall where Mordecai has like a specific sort of accent based on what he turned into, and that's definitely reflected. So
I think Tim's right though. You could do it's a guest spot every season where
yeah,
there's one every season.
It's like Doctor Who.
Yeah, like every time he regenerates, it's a different actor, and
And that way you can get all of Seth MacFarlane's buddies to cycle through.
there you go.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep. You don't need any of them for too long. They don't have to commit.
And if they're fully CG creatures, I mean, it'd be really funny if you had like Jonathan Frakes play the Incubus,
The Incubus,
Mordecai.
yes.
Say, because I want him to do the same voice he did when he was on Gargoyles, because it just that really smooth talking, like slightly sinister voice he had on that. That was fun.
There's been some popular things popping up among the fandom about like Alan Tudyk is a very popular person who's like he's got to play something, right? Maybe he'll play the AI, maybe he'll do Mordecai. People love Alan, and there's been some rumors lately. We talked about at the very beginning that Jeff based his voice for Carl on Patrick Warburton. There's been like some Instagram things and stuff lately where Jeff is on camera and actually Patrick does show up for at least one, but like Patrick Warburton's son, his name is Talon Warburton, has been popping up some places, and people are like, "Oh, maybe this guy is going to be Carl."
Though I like his voice would be interesting for the AI.
And I don't know if Talon is what I picture Carl looking like, but he's been in. He's done some voice work actually. I don't know that he's done a lot of live action work.
I was like, I don't know him, so I don't know what he looks like.
Yeah, here, hold on. I'll share with you guys a picture of Talon Warburton, and you can see if. Oh, hey, there's a fairly recent one. We won't use the one with the shirt off. I don't know if that reflects Carl to the best of.
Talon Warburton sounds like the name of like a bird person in the Rick and Morty universe. He was the general. He was the general during the war with the bugs.
Oh no, I don't like him.
Talon Warburton.
I'm always going to disagree with good-looking Carl.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay.
I get it. I get it. He's not the schlub that he is in my head, but Carl is a schlub name. Like he's a schlub.
Let's see. He hasn't really been in much that. Oh, he was in an episode of Invincible as young Nolan. I don't know who that is. And
it was the flashback when Nolan was. It's J.K. Simmons' character when he was Mark's age.
He was in 11 episodes of Iron Man and His Awesome Friends as Absorbing Man and Pedro the Pitcher. So he's done several voice bits, but none that I super recognize, honestly. So I didn't even know there was a Megamind TV series, but he was in 9 episodes of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was apparently awful.
It was on Netflix or something, wasn't it?
It had none of the returning cast.
How could it? It looks like it was made for like $15.
And people say it felt like it was AI written.
It may have been.
Okay. But yeah, so that's what we know and some of the stuff that I've heard about the TV series, and we will try to keep abreast of the goings on with that as we continue the show, and we'll visit back when we hear more. In the meantime, we have one email today, and it comes with a review. So
my God.
Yeah. So let me bring that up. This one is from Keith, and it says, question for the show and 5-star review. Hey, Jennifer, Mike, Tim, and Data, longtime listener, first-time caller. I found your show and have been following along as I'm doing my first reread of the series. Question for all of you, you too, Data. The amount of awesome side characters, both crawlers and NPCs, is beginning to pick up. Who's everyone's favorite character that's not one of not in our party. Basically, he says, "Mine is Sledgy."
He
The sled.
Oh, the big rock guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
is pretty fun. I think mine would have to be Elle. I like her no shits given since she
Mhm.
kind of changed races, and I think she's just awesome. She cracks me up every time we talk to her, so probably right now I'd go Elle.
Okay. He's technically not in the party, but he is like part of the Morty wouldn't count as part of this as like a side character because he's kind of like in the main group, isn't he?
Yeah, that's kind of why I didn't pick him, 'cause I'd agree he's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I kind of like Odette.
Ooh.
I feel like she's
Okay.
going to be more important later because I can't tell if she's friend or foe or something in between at this
Yep.
point. But she fascinates me, and it feels kind of like she's had to become part of the machine that is the that is this terrible universe. But
Mhm.
that was her way of surviving. Like she was kind of forced to do that. So she's an interesting character who had to. She kind of exemplifies the whole. She had to give up pieces of herself to get by. So she's a fascinating character. She's also interesting. She seems like she's intelligent. She's playing some sort of long game. So Odette is one of my favorite characters because I really am interested to see what happens with her going forward.
Yeah, there's more than meets the eye there for sure. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim.
I have no reason to base anything on this, but Lucia Marr.
Interesting.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
From the moment we were introduced to her and her dogs and her crazy fucking axe murderer like persona, at least on TV.
hmm
Yeah, every time she pops up, I'm like, I sit up just a little bit more because I'm like, yeah, what is this?
Okay.
Barring that, I don't remember her name, but remember Homeless Woman? I
Yes.
want Homeless Woman back.
Oh,
Agatha,
fuck
yeah.
Agatha.
Yeah, I don't
We haven't
remember
seen
her
her in a minute.
name. Yeah, I want her back because she's fun and she's probably some kind of alien or something.
She's
so
something.
that's fun.
She hasn't popped up since book one, right?
No, I
did she
thought
ever
she-
show
I
up in book
think
two?
she
Yeah.
popped up in 2
For a hot second.
Yeah, I
not
think she
long.
popped up in 2 for a second. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah,
literally for a moment to just be like, fuck you, and then off
Yeah.
she goes.
Because didn't Carl like mention he was just like, oh yeah, your cart, and she's like, yeah, and he's like, I could fix that wheel for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had that moment of the murder eyes, like, do I gotta kill a bitch?
It's like, do I have to kill this fucker? Yeah. Yeah.
So those
Okay.
two, because they're both dangerous, or maybe one's just dangerous on TV, because we haven't met her.
I think it's one of those side characters that's like allegiance unknown, So
Sanity unknown.
sanity unknown. No, it feels like Agatha has a point to her. The sanity unknown is a cover. It feels like with her, but yeah, that's a good answer. Agatha's a
Yeah.
good answer.
It is.
I want to go back to the live action bullshit for 1 second.
Yeah.
Because
Go ahead.
I have been Googling like crazy to try to find who is my Carl.
Okay.
All right, my live action Carl. And I have
Okay.
an answer because I didn't
All
know
right.
the guy's last name. It's Josh Rubin from Game Changer.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, I could see it.
He's good looking enough to be the lead of a TV show. That has to be a consideration. But he's
Mhm.
also schlubby. He's just a schlubby guy. But he's also hilarious. Yeah, I think he's the fucking. I think that's the guy.
Okay. I could kind of see that. Most of the pictures I see of him, he's got a lot of gray in the beard, and I feel like that looks a bit old for Carl. But you just shave him, and he doesn't look like he looks way younger when you just shave him.
Actors color their hair all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
Keanu's been gray as a ghost for like 10 plus years, yet every time they throw him into a fucking John Wick movie, it's just jet black. So
See now, I think I have to agree with Jennifer that I love Elle. She's just hilarious every time she's on screen. But now I'm thinking, since we were just talking about the show, I'm like, who do you cast as Elle who can be like genuinely like an older actress who you could buy with some makeup or whatever that she was 90, but then can turn into like this sassy, hard drinking character. And I'm like, I don't know.
Felicia Day.
Oh, I could see that. My first thought was Ellen DeGeneres for I don't know what reason, but I like the Felicia Day moment.
No, I don't want a legitimately old person because when she does the transformation into the other class, like it has to be she kind of it changes her composition a little bit. Like
It's true.
you just put somebody in old makeup and then they eventually, the
Okay, that's fair.
transformation happens.
I was
Plus,
looking for someone who is at least a little bit older. Like, I don't know why Jamie Lee Curtis popped into my head.
Love
but that's
Jamie
a little
Lee
too
Jamie
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis would be good. Yeah, I could
And
see
she
her
does
as Mel.
anything.
She really
She'll do
does.
anything. She can do it.
As long as there's a paycheck, I'll believe whatever you say.
I go to Helen Mirren.
Ooh, that's an
Yeah,
interesting
that was
thought,
another one that I
too.
thought of. Yep.
That and then you just cast another person to be the
Oh, the
younger
younger.
one after
Okay.
you're done with the with essentially just book one, so just one season.
That's the thing for me though. I kind of want there to be a continuity of
it.
the
Yeah.
actor playing the person.
I guess it depends on how hard they go into trying to make Elle look like, because in the book she's now like 4 feet high and blue and doesn't walk on the ground, and I'm like, you don't need to do that. You can have her look blue and be a full grown human and save money by letting her walk on the ground, but because then you might not need. You're right that continuity would make more sense if she looks still roughly like a human. Maybe she's just blue or whatever. But if you turn her, like literally change her so much that she's 4 feet tall, at that point, she might actually end up being CGI, and then you just need a voice for it. But
I know I'm gonna butcher her name, but there is another Seth MacFarlane friend that Elle could be, and I love how this has turned into the fan cast podcast.
Well, Seth works with the same guys like a lot,
Yeah.
so it's easy to do a guess.
Yeah, so I would think Charlize Theron. I know I'm saying that wrong. I think she would be a good Elle.
oh yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, those are our favorites. That was a
Hey.
fun question. Thank you. Let me read the rest
That's a
of the
great
email.
question. We got a lot out of that.
Yeah. Also, thanks for all the great recommendations, Keith says, along the way, like watching Solo Leveling and rewatching Batman and Robin.
Hell yeah.
Attaching my 5-star review on iTunes. I'm probably your one random listener from Vermont. Thanks in advance, Mike. And so the review has words. It says, new review. Amazing show. Great cast who keep it spoiler free. Perfect for first time crawlers and rereaders too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's spoiler free by design. We don't know what the fuck's happening. It works. I avoid spoilers like a sumbitch. So what was the name?
Keith.
Keith. All right, Keith. All right. I hate to do this. I'd rather slit my throat. Anyway, it's an Anchorman reference. I don't actually feel that way. All right, Keith, you've been riding the rails for a while. You've been avoiding mobs. You've been making your way, trying to figure out a way off this godforsaken level with all these goddamn trains, and you're wondering what can happen to me next. Like you look at those big gates, and it's like, what do you think they got in there, King Kong? And no, it's a little gremlin man who masturbates constantly. It's never what you think it is. And now you're dealing with human resources of all the things that you wish did not survive the old world. This is now waiting for you, but you don't have to follow their rules. You know why, Keith? Because you're not part of human resources. You're the inhuman resource. You can do what you want. You can blow up the trains. You can fight zombies. Hell, you could even spend all your money in the penis parade and just wait for the whole floor to collapse. You can do whatever you want. You're free now. They can't touch you because you're the inhuman resource.
Achievement unlocked. Keith, you are the inhuman resource.
I don't know whether that's good or bad to be the inhuman. Okay.
That's the
I mean,
point of these
everybody's inhuman
achievements.
at this point.
They're not good or bad. They just are.
They are.
They just are.
All right. Yep. I was about to say yes. That is every one of the achievements. Like, is this a good? Who knows? And that's why people love them. All right.
It's
well,
like thank you? Question mark.
That is what we've got for this week. Remember, when we come back in a couple weeks, we'll be doing 4 chapters, chapters 20 through 23. So if you're reading along and want to understand what the hell we're talking about, read at least those chapters. Thanks to everyone who's been showing up and listening every week. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you. Mordecai's still gone. I have no Mordecai wisdom for the week. What's your wisdom, Mike?
Oh,
Put him
God
on
damn
the
it,
spot
Donut.
some more.
God damn it, Donut. If you're going to go into the penis parade, bring a friend, preferably a rock monster, because he'll spot you.
Because he's already rock hard.
He's already rock hard.
There you go.
All right, get out there, crawlers, and kill, kill, kill.
Good luck out there, crawlers.